Kiwis, stand up.
Now, please welcome the show for bloody good Kiwis across the country.
It's time.
It's time for, this is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
Oh, g'day New Zealand. Welcome to Daily Bhuja. Great to have your company this Thursday afternoon. It's the 15th of March 2018 in Lee Hart. G'day, mate.
Yeah, g'day, mate. You well?
Yeah, very well. Yourself?
You're not bad. Got a bit of a static going through my headphones, through my cans, but look, I'm a professional. I'll get by. I'll get through it.
As long as the people out there aren't getting the static, Lee Hart, that's all we care about, mate.
You're dead right there, mate.
Now, listen, I just wanted to say something. I bumped into someone on the street when I was going to my car last night, and they said they were driving home listening to Daily Bhuja, and they were laughing so hard that they nearly crashed their car. And I thought to myself, you know what, if you ever do find yourself just absolutely pissing yourself listening to the show, just maybe pull over to the side of the road, just be safe, enjoy your laugh, then get back on the road.
That's right, Jace. It's all very well having a few laughs, and we do like to have a few laughs on this show from time to time, but we want them to be safe laughs.
Absolutely.
Safe laughs, nothing crazy, and we certainly don't want people getting killed in the process of that. So yes, keep it safe, people.
Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you what, we've got a hell of a show coming up. I don't know what's happening with Curry Night. We'll have to speak to Tom a little bit later on about that. Hopefully something's been organised, because by God, it's been 2 weeks. We've given him 2 weeks, Lee Hart, and I'm beginning to lose my cool about this situation.
Yep. You got to have faith, though. You got to have faith in these things. But I tell you what, besides that, what a huge show we've got.
It's going to be massive.
Thursday, of course, and it's all about relaxing and getting ready for that weekend.
Sure is, my friend. Let's crack into it. Here's a bit of garbage. You're listening to Bhuja.
Bhuja with Lee and Jace on Radio Hodaki.
Oh, you got to love a bit of White Stripes on a Thursday afternoon, Lee Hart. Listen, I've just got a text in here from Ricky, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, "G'day, guys. Just want to say what a top-notch show.
Sorry.
It really is great having so many laughs, on a Thursday afternoon." So thanks
do you
for that,
know Ricky, do you?
Pardon?
Do you know Ricky?
No, not personally. Why?
Is that his voice or yours? He wouldn't do it.
Well, that's the sort of voice I imagine a Ricky would have.
Would
you
you?
know? Well, kind of high register, sort of enthusiasm. Just by the tone of his actual text there,
I reading a bit, pretty hard. I don't think you can read tone into texts to that degree, could you?
Well, I don't know. It's it's a top-notch show, and you guys, I love my afternoon laughs on a Thursday. It's got that kind of vibe about it, Lee Hart.
Sounds like Karen Harding's lost her voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's...
Well, I was just trying to distinguish between my voice, which is very distinctive, and other people, if I'm reading a text out, might think it's me saying that line. You know what I mean?
I've got one from John down in Cambridge Way. He's a cow cocky. G'day, fellas. Loving the show. Keep up the good work and the good laughs. Always get a few laughs on the tractor. But there you go.
So what? So that's how you think John sounds then?
I was just doing what you did.
It's just a little bit cliche because John works on a farm, but you've given him a sort of bass baritone that he's going to be this massive.
But you didn't even know where Ricky worked, and you put like some sort of.
Well, I was just saying because of the tenor of his actual text here, but I mean,
we didn't work
John's
in a helium
probably
factory, did he?
Just because John works on a farm and he's working on a tractor doesn't mean that he's going to sound like this and be all manly and macho about it.
Okay,
I think you're taking liberties there.
Okay. I was just trying to put some sort of. What's the word in English?
Humanity to it?
Yeah, just to bring the text alive a bit, because they can get pretty tedious.
Yes, they can. They can.
All right, okay, moving on. We got some songs or something?
Oh, yeah. Am I going to play those now?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, have we got any Weezer, Matty?
Yeah, we've actually got the latest one from Weezer.
Oh, let's do that
Would
then.
you believe it? Happy Hour. What a tune.
You two there on Daily Bhuja. And I tell you what, Lee Hart, the text machine is absolutely going off today. I'm not going to put the voice on as we did in the previous ones here, but some guys texted in saying that he's moved to Canada, to quite a remote little place, and that there's a lot of bears around there. And he recalls us discussing the fact that you used to work with bears for a while.
Oh, no, not directly with the bears themselves, no, but I spent a bit of time in the Washington State, I suppose, at...
the national park there.
Yeah, Willow Creek there. I was building log cabins for homeless people up there, and with an axe and the sword, old style.
Yeah. Great stuff.
We're pretty remote. And
well, so you, in that scenario, I'm pretty sure that you would have found yourself sort of confronted by bears, because that's kind of prime bear territory, isn't
it's
it?
bear country, and the bears are kind of spoilt now a little bit. They come to the camps. They come closer and closer to civilization now.
Yeah,
because they need to.
Well, that's because of course we're encroaching on their habitats,
right. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situation.
They probably sit there going, "God, there's another bastard building a log cabin with an axe again." You know what I mean? That was my favourite spot. That spot there.
And interesting thing was, I was out one day just clearing a little way there, and I was setting some traps for some coons. And
for some what? Sorry,
raccoons.
Oh, raccoons. Okay.
Because we're using the skins is to make
those hat things,
curtains, and on couches, upholstery. There's pretty much real log cabin stuff. And I sensed it right behind me.
What, a bear?
About a sort of a 8-foot, 10-foot grizzly.
Far out.
On its hind legs, standing there, which suggests it was the alpha male in the I was in his area, okay?
His territory, yeah.
That's right.
For sure.
I'd urinated over there earlier, and he probably didn't like that. He would have sensed the scent, and he was going to have a go. So there's only one thing you can do in that situation.
Yeah, just like curl up. Aren't you supposed to get in like the fetal position, cover your head, don't expose your belly and all that sort of stuff?
Just curl up into a ball.
Into a ball and stay completely still?
You could do that, but I just got back in the rental car. It was just by maybe I could have done that, but I got back in the car and drove back to the camp, of course.
Right, okay.
And warned everyone else about this bear, this alpha male, that he'll be back. And sure enough, next night, who should show up?
Grizzly bear.
Yep, right outside there.
Wow.
Kicking the door and going nuts, going ballistic. We're in the cabin there. It's like a movie, this, I tell you.
Yeah, it's beginning to sound like one there, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, but so the advice that you would give to people is, if you don't have a rental car and you're under bear attack, call into that fetal position, cover your head, don't expose your belly, and stay perfectly still.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'd say. But also say, if you do have a rental car, make sure you've got the right insurance, because you don't want to get into a rental car for safety if a bear starts jumping all over it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's going to
scratch claw marks down it, because they can rip those things apart, can't they?
Yeah, because when you check a rental car, when you get it, you look at the scratches, you go, hey, those bear scratches on that
they were
door,
already on there.
That was already on there.
Yeah,
you
totally.
got to know that. But yeah, no, I'd say avoid the bears if I it would be the best thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I hope that helps our listener there. Fantastic stuff.
Thanks, mate.
What are we going into, Maddie?
That'll be the Killers, Jason.
Oh, the Killers, of course. And they're coming here very shortly, aren't they?
Certainly are. 3 gigs in April.
Brilliant.
Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt. Bhuja. Till 7 tonight on Radio Hodaki.
The Killers there on Daily Bhuja. I tell you, man, a very strange thing happened to me yesterday. Yep. I was, you know how I've been clearing out my house?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my wife is a prodigious collector of second-hand items. And we were clearing all the stuff away, and I found all these old beta tapes.
Oh, the old VHS and beta tapes,
yeah. VHS beta tapes. And I was like, oh, my God. Geez, I wonder what, there's all my old acting jobs and stuff when I first started off and all that stuff. And there was another one for my graduation, my university graduation.
Oh, yeah.
And so I...
you got the old recorder out and popped it in, did you?
Yeah, I put it in the old recorder and had a bit of a gamble and a look, and it was actually, it had been taped over. Okay. And it was actually my parents making love. And that's a hell of a sight to see, because we've got it like a high-def TV
hold
now.
on. Yeah, but it would have been shot in high def. Wouldn't matter.
No, but it was still good quality picture. Surprisingly good quality picture.
So hold on.
How long were you watching it for?
Yeah, well, I'd probably watch. It took me about 2 or 3 minutes to actually realise what I was watching, because when you do that homemade sort of making love videos, you can often get the camera shots wrong, and so I wasn't actually sure what I was looking at initially until they sort of panned out a little bit.
You didn't realise who it was.
I didn't even realise who. I faintly recognised the voice. But as they
talking going on,
there was a hell of a lot of talking going on, and not nice talking, filthy talking.
Can I ask a personal question? You don't have to answer this. Before you realised who was in the video, were you aroused at any point?
I was going to say that.
Well, I don't know that I was aroused. I think I was intrigued. As I often am in those situations. There was the potential for me to get aroused, I imagine, until they did the pull out of the pan, and I could see
pull out of what?
The pull. They did the pull out, and I saw actually on the wide sort of lens who was actually making love, and it was actually my parents.
Right, okay. And you say this was taped over your graduation?
Yeah, my graduation, my university graduation, which is a bit bloody rough.
I didn't think you graduated.
Well, no, I didn't. So I suppose that's fair enough. But I
That's
mean,
probably why they taped over it then.
well, that'll be exactly why they taped
Well,
over
probably a
it.
blank tape then. Because you never graduated. Then maybe they lined it up. They set that tape aside for your graduation. Right, Jace's graduation on
Well,
it.
that would make sense.
You
yeah.
never graduated. They needed a tape to make love to.
And so they just
Put that
used
in.
that. Yeah, well, no, that makes sense now, actually. Because initially I thought to myself, God, the bloody cheek of it to tape over my important moment in my life. And then I realised I didn't actually achieve that important moment in my life. So
I'm more
Well, at least they
concerned.
did.
I'm more concerned that you watched till the 2 or 3 minute mark to the pullout.
Well, I couldn't see what I was looking at, Matt.
Okay. So, tapes. You want to put that into the prize pack or something? We could give that away. Or...
Well, I suppose I could, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Foo Fighters there on Daily Bhuja. Just incidentally, there was something I was meaning to ask you guys with regards to the old beta and VHS tapes. Are you able to tape those somewhere and transfer
Yeah,
the sort of, because I've got some great old material and all that sort of stuff, and I was just wondering if you're able to sort of put it technologically change it over.
Yeah, you can get it. We can get that done.
Okay.
You say you've got some good material we can use on the show, sort of thing, or?
Well, my old stand-up and that sort of stuff. I don't think I mean, I don't want to digitise my parents making love, but there's certainly some good stuff there. My old Xena Warrior Princess stuff. He went that way. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? The start of, because I don't know about you, Lee Hart, but I'm sort of getting to the period in my life where I'm kind of beginning
You're
to
starting
put,
to archive stuff.
yeah, well, I'm starting to put a bit of an autobiography together. You know what I mean? And it's great to have that stuff and not let it sort of degenerate so you can't watch it anymore.
I'm at that weird stage where I'm actually hoping someone else will want to do something on me,
Right, okay.
but I don't want to ask them to do it.
Like a TV hour feature
Yeah,
on something
you know.
of Lee Hart.
And so I'm sort of keeping everything in case I want to do He Was Born, and show the hometown and all that sort of stuff. And they need all the information and all the photos and all the stuff so they could do a real sort of expose on my whole life. But it could be quite self-indulgent thing that's going to happen
Right, okay,
unless
yeah.
I do it myself.
Well, I was kind of
How about I
inspired.
do yours, you do mine?
Well, I'd happily do that. Let's face it, I've got some good inside knowledge about you, and you have some good inside knowledge about me. We're kind of like a married couple in a way. So actually, that would work quite well.
Yeah.
Is it not more a case of you got too much on each other?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of that too, actually. But I think if you're going to do an autobiography, particularly if you're going to do like a tally movie of Lee Hart's life, you've got to get the good with the bad, don't you?
The problem is that if you were sort of directing or writing the tally movie of my life, you'd sort of end up featuring more on it than I would.
Yeah, I would. And a lot of I would use a lot of the stuff you've cut me out of to sort of show what really happened. It would be a sort of what really happened type story for Lee Hart, I think.
Yeah. That'd be good though, wouldn't it?
And I'd be happy for you to do mine, actually. Very happy. Alrighty, let's go to a tune.
Bhuja with Lee and Jace. Text them on 3483 or call 0800 Hoda here.
Got a question for you, Lee Hart.
Yeah, mate.
How many times do you think we've done Name That Tune?
It's a really good question. There might be in the log somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be hundreds, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And yet I still extraordinarily get excited about Name That Tune. It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's a tribute to
we
you, to
talk
be
about
fair.
good guitarists and great guitarists. You got your Claptons, your Hendrixes, and these sort of people, and
I wasn't comparing you to those guys.
neither was I.
Yeah, right,
But
okay.
it's nice to chuck the names in there while we're talking about it.
Yeah.
It's more of a case of, I wouldn't say journeyman, but proficient people that can just play thousands and thousands and thousands of songs.
Yeah, like the Jack of all trades and the master of none type guy. Is that what you're meaning?
I wouldn't say that.
Right, but I think journeyman's a good word. I think that's a great way of describing
I
it.
wouldn't say journeyman. I would say, I mean, I could have gone all the way in music, but I decided to go into other things.
Right, okay.
Due to the prison stuff and that. But look,
Well, should we do Lee Hart's Name That Tune?
let's do it.
Is it?
Do you want to do the
That's a
sting,
good
Matt?
one.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
usually-
now would be good.
Usually you go, it's time for...
It's time for Lee Hart's Name That Tune. God, you're getting so bloody... What is going on with you at the moment?
Just talked all over the bloody sting.
What have you got for us
What do
today,
you
mate?
feel like? What do you feel like?
Oh, I feel like something old schools,
Something jumpy.
something a bit rock and roll, maybe.
Not many people can play this kind of picking.
My daughter can.
Doubt it.
All the time.
There's that YouTube clip. It's about 5 minutes long. I think you can watch and play.
Are you going to play a tune, or are you just going to keep playing this one? Is this the tune?
No, it's not. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go way back into the...
Archives?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how much of this I should do because it's going to be very, very predictable. We're going into some Indian-style tunings for this. Something your daughter probably wouldn't know much about at this point. But here we go.
One more time. If you can name that tune, New Zealand, give us a call right now on 0800 Hodaki. Love to hear from you.
Daily Bhuja with KFC's Smoky Barbecue Bacon Burger. Now with 25% more farmyard.
Hey, time for This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
Yes, welcome back to Daily Bhuja. Nice to have your company. And Lee Hart, I reckon someone's going to get this straight off the bat.
I'll do another quick little version. Won't play too much because in retrospect, I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Away you go, mate. Away you go.
A one, a two, a one, two.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Let's go to Brad and Mount Albert. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Oh, sorry, mate. I was trying to do a g'day, mate, and it kind of came out my ears.
Differently.
Yeah, did a little bit. You having a good day, Brad?
Outstanding in the metropolis thriving of Mount Albert.
Yeah.
Oh, the old Albert, eh?
Beautiful, mate.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
the old Albert, the old Owairaka, the Maunga. Yeah.
The old Malby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Melby.
Wow.
Never heard of Melby.
Mount Alby.
All right, Brad.
I
Let's
think
cut
it's
to
a new thing.
right. Let's cut to the chase, my friend. Can you name that tune?
Oh, was it Paint It Black by the Stones?
Oh shit! Of course it was.
God, you know your oldies.
Good on you, buddy. Great stuff.
Cheers, boys.
No worries. You stay on the line, and our good man Tom will sort you out with the prize. Good on you, buddy.
You bloody good Kiwis. Thank you.
So same with you, mate. Thank you.
Oh, it's bloody Audio Slave. Doesn't
It is
remind me.
too.
Doesn't remind me. What a
Just
tune.
thinking that.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja this Tuesday afternoon. I tell you what, Lee, it's always around this time that I get really hungry. You know what I mean? I think
I know what you mean.
might be because it's the sort of time on the Wednesday when we do the KFC Wheel of Chicken, and that
Yeah.
always gets me going. But geez, I'm starving.
Not too bad today. She went to a funeral early on and ate at that, yeah. You know, it's a bit different. Instead of having your normal club sandwiches and stuff, it's more sort of tapas type stuff, finger food.
Oh, okay. I like
Yeah.
a good tap. What sort of tapas are we talking about here?
Specifically, I think they have these beautiful little Moroccan sort of meatballs.
Oh, yeah, I know the
like
ones.
Yogurt and chutneys around it.
Yeah, lovely,
Chicken
lovely.
wings, always got to have chicken wings.
Yeah,
and
they had
tapas.
chicken wings
Yep,
what, in the
totally.
tapas or just
Some
separately? Calamari tapas.
Yep.
I tell you what, I like for the old tapper is that slow pulled pork can often work really
Beautiful.
nicely.
I didn't see any of that, to be honest.
And often they'll do the like the chili prawns.
Yes, the head chili prawns.
for the tapas.
The head chili prawns, they
Yeah,
did.
lovely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also just straight beef, like skews. Straight skews.
Oh, skews of beef.
Skews of beef.
Yeah, nice.
Just a little bit of garlic on it.
Oh,
Beautiful.
lovely.
The good thing about a tapas thing, you don't eat too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Just enough. Because you're chatting anyway, I suppose, with people at a funeral, but you just eat enough to keep you nice and full. You see something else, you can grab it. It's not like a normal buffet where you seem to be rushing to get to the food.
You're completely right, actually, because when you're at a funeral, obviously you can't be sort of stuffing your face, but they're the perfect sort of hand size, eating size, and they don't get in the way of the conversation and all that
That's
sort of
right,
stuff.
that's right. So I remember, basically the Moroccan meatball is probably the best for me.
Yeah, that's
then
nice.
Maybe the beef skews.
Yeah.
And the prawn that you mentioned.
Yeah, the giant
beautiful.
chili prawns.
Absolutely beautiful.
Mind you, the calamari, if it had a bit of aioli, can often be
Yeah,
good.
calamari is good, but can be overdone.
Yeah,
you get
true.
calamari everywhere, don't you?
So, whose funeral was it?
No idea. I was just there for the food, to be honest.
Jason Hoyt, Lee Hart. It's Bhuja on Radio Hodaki.
The Clash there on Daily Bhuja this Thursday afternoon. I just want to take you back to that tappers scenario.
At the funeral?
At the funeral there,
Yeah.
because it's such a bloody clever idea.
It's handy.
I'm actually amazed that people haven't thought of, doing the old tappers more often at a funeral.
Yeah, that's good. And because finger food's great, you're shaking people's hands, you're chatting to people.
Yeah,
You don't
it doesn't
wanna
get
be
in the way.
Caught up with a big buffet or greasy food.
Yeah, well, there's nothing worse because they often have the paper plates and forks and stuff, and it's very difficult.
Interesting story about that. Actually, I went to another funeral a few years back, and it's amazing what's happening nowadays with everybody trying to reduce their carbon footprint and try to do the. I went to this funeral, brilliant idea. What they do, so you finish your meal,
Yeah.
and they had all sorts of stuff: macaroni, cheese, spag bowl,
Salads.
all that sort of stuff, salads,
Yeah, lovely.
red meats, and chicken. But what happens at the end? Obviously, everyone loads up on their plates because it was buffet style. But if you don't finish it right, you don't just go tip it out and waste it and put it down the drain or into the bin. What they do, you just wander over and you just tip into the casket. So the casket's open. The body's there. The body's lying there in state kind of thing, lying there. And what you do, it's almost part of a ritual in a way.
So was this, because I've heard about this before actually, was this some kind of green, kind of eco
Yeah,
funeral? Because
it was eco funeral for sure.
And was the casket like a cardboard box?
Well,
kind
the
of?
hearse was electric, put it that way.
Oh, okay, so it was one of the green hearses.
It was a green hearse. And, it looked like a regular sort of coffin, but the idea is he's lying there in a suit.
Yeah.
But you just go over and you just scrape your food onto him.
Well, that's clever. That's really clever. You know what I mean?
I think the first person, a bit like throwing the soil into a grave or a flower or something.
Yeah.
I think the next of kin is the first to go over with their food. I think it was the wife. I think.
Right. Yeah.
Of this guy went over. She had like leftover macaroni cheese, and she just scraped it off gently onto him.
But that would have been quite moving, I imagine.
It's quite emotional.
It's
quite emotional. And then obviously you wait your turn because you don't want to jump the gun. Depending on how.
But having said that, I mean, you don't want to be standing around there for hours holding your plate. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I mean,
but you just
got to
gauge
get rid of
how
it.
well you know the guy, and then you go over. And depends what you've had, of course. You might just have half a bowl of soup that you just tip over him.
Yeah.
But you come in.
Yeah.
The idea is it's not just getting down the drains and into the rubbish. Corn on the cob, this sort of stuff. So
In my case, it would probably be like one of those wraps that you get. You know what I mean? I can never finish a wrap. I don't know what it is. I mean, I always love a wrap.
Are you going to serve wraps at your funeral?
Well, quite possibly, but I'd probably be chucking a few wraps in
check
there.
it, whatever. Corn, this sort of stuff. Peas. The point is, it's ritualistic. Because what are we in the day? We're just food, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're part
absolutely.
of nature. So what happens? This food, this waste of the people that said goodbye to him goes with him.
Yeah.
It's part of.
Oh, that's a lovely message.
Your meal is going on a journey with him. So he gets buried in the ground 6 foot. It's like a compost heap.
Well, it's kind of like the Egyptians did, when they buried all their pharaohs with all their jewels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a very similar kind of concept.
Very, very similar to that, but instead of jewels, it's more like chuck wagon corn and this, chuck wagon veggies and whatever's left over,
lasagna,
just depending on
macaroni
how you catered it. Of course, that you can. There's another option. I went to another one where they had paper plates. I was wondering what's all this about, and paper, the wooden forks, paper plates, same thing. Goes into the casket, but of course it all gets burnt in the crematorium.
Right, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
With the body.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to bury him, but you can still do the same thing. You can still put your lunch waste with the deceased. So I think that's a nice little touch.
Yeah, it's a really nice little touch. Speaking of which, Jeremy's texted, and not Jeremy Wells, another Jeremy, saying, any chance of some bush, boys?
Early bush or mid?
I think he wants mid-bush.
Okay.
What do you reckon, Matt?
It's already on.
Let's do it.
Bit of glycerine.
Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt until 7 tonight on Radio Hodaki.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. Now, great news for me, Lee Hart. I've been given some great opportunities on the acting front lately.
Oh, really?
And I've just got an audition now, I see from my agent. It's just come through on my email.
Yeah.
To play the part of Jerry Brownlee, the politician. So,
He's not gay, though, is he?
sorry?
He's not gay, though, is he?
Who, Jerry Brownlee?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's gay. Not that I'm aware of.
When did he come out?
What do you mean, when did he go? I don't think Jerry Brownlee's gay.
No, hold on. You just said you've just landed an audition role
Yeah.
to play Jerry Brownlee.
Yeah, that's right.
But aren't you normally doing gay roles?
Well, that's what I mean. This is what's so exciting about it, is that I normally do gay roles.
So he's not gay then?
Well, I'm pretty sure. Well, Jerry Brownlee might be gay for all I know, but I'm pretty certain, particularly when I look at the audition piece, that he's not gay.
Okay.
I think he's a straight guy.
So you're excited about this. What if you found out he was gay? Would you turn it down?
Oh, no, I mean, if I found out that Jerry Brownlee was gay, I'd certainly still do the role.
Okay.
It's a great challenge. I mean, but it's a kind of two-edged sword. I'm flattered to be offered the role, but then I sort of look at my body type and I look at Jerry Brownlee's body type and I sort of think, what are they thinking that I'm
No. It's about character, really. I mean, your job is to
inhabit
that persona, really, and make people forget his size and your diminutive size and just think of the character
Jerry Brownlee.
The
Well,
essence of Jerry
I
Brownlee.
guess I look facially, I look quite a lot like Jerry Brownlee.
They might
so
put a fat suit on you.
Well, yeah, they might do. But actually, now that you asked me the question, I'm not entirely sure whether Jerry Brownlee's gay or not gay.
I don't think they should come into it, though.
Oh, I mean, I don't think it's a big, unless it's part of his storyline that he has a gay lover or something, which I'm not saying he
might be
does.
something they could write into it, seeing they've asked you to be the play the part.
What, to sort of sensationalise the script?
Maybe they
a
just
bit?
want to maybe put a bit of a third sort of a bit of a layer to it.
Well, like a gay sort of storyline to Jerry Brownlee's political. Jeez,
So
that's
what is it?
quite
The
nice.
Jerry Brownlee story, is it?
No, I was going to say it's going to be a heck of a plot twist for the earthquake play.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
about the earthquake. But
Oh,
I
right.
don't see why there couldn't be a subplot of me being Jerry Brownlee with a potential gay lover as we're going through the experience
There
of
were
the
a lot
Christchurch
of homosexual
earthquake.
people involved in the earthquake.
Well,
let's
of
be
course
honest.
there was. I mean, of course there is. You know what I mean?
And if you listen to some people, like bloody, what's his name? Who's that guy? The religious nut here?
Oh,
Tamaki.
Tamaki basically said that the homosexuals caused the earthquake.
Well, apparently he's playing Paula Bennett.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Oh, is he really? Oh, jeez.
Interesting. So what's it called? Any name for this thing?
No, I think it might be just the Quake or something like that. I think it's still sort of under.
And it's a stage play? Is it a movie?
No, it's a movie. I think
great.
it's like a tally movie. So certainly moving up in the world, mate. Moving up in the
Well,
world.
good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, let's go to tune.
Daily Bhuja.
Kings of Leon there on Daily Bhuja. Now, interesting thing, Lee Hart. I borrowed your car
Yeah.
the other day. Do you not lock your car?
Well, not all the time, no way.
Well, I just find it very interesting because particularly after Steve did poos in your car, I would have thought the first thing you do now is to lock your car.
Here's a bit of a top tip for you in a way. I don't need this thing or anything for this. It's more of an auto thing. You've got two types of people who are trying to steal your car or get into your car.
Yes.
One type of person who's trying to steal it. Okay.
Yeah.
The other is really just rummaging around to see if you've left sunglasses, phone,
Cash or something like
wallet,
that.
anything in your car. Okay. Phone chargers, you name it, anything they can sell quickly. Chances are the second is more, especially your car. Who's going to steal it?
Yeah, well, that's a fair point, actually.
So all they're going to do is break a window, cause you hassle and your insurance hassle, to rummage around in your car and find out there's nothing anyway. So what I do now at home, I just leave my car open, and it's obvious there's nothing in there. They're welcome to open the door and put their head in and rummage around if they can find anything. All good, but what I've done, the glove box, of course, because this is at night,
Yeah.
in the glove box, I put a rat trap. Quite a big rat trap, quite heavily loaded.
Yeah,
and it's in the dark,
ready to spring.
And it's just in the glove box, okay? So they'll pop themselves into the car, be rummaging around in the dark, put their hand into the glove box, and of course the rat trap will go off.
Yeah,
You
get a
hear
hell of
them
a surprise.
screaming and yelling, and it happened the other night actually.
Yeah.
And I heard it, wow! And I ran out, and of course,
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, mate, it was bloody painful.
yeah. Oh, was that you? Was it?
It was bloody painful. Well, it's funny you should say that because, as I say, I do lock my car, but I don't lock my house. Now, that's my theory because actually people will be rummaging through it. I'm actually hoping that people will come into my house and take half the shit away because we've got
Yeah.
a lot of clutter in our house.
Yeah, you're a
my,
hoarder.
My wife's a hoarder. She loves the second-hand stuff.
She's a what?
She's a hoarder.
Oh, right,
And
hoarder.
she loves going to see it. And so our house is just filled with crap. So I deliberately leave my house open in the hope that people come in and to sort of denude us of some product that we've got there. You know what I mean?
With the kids sleeping there and that, with the people walking around.
Oh, well,
carrying-
obviously not when the kids are there, but, when everyone's left home, I just leave the house wide open. I almost invite people to come into my house and take stuff
It's
away.
not like they can steal the house.
Well,
is it?
that's the point.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a mindset, isn't it? You've got to change our mindsets.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, are we going to Portugal the Man here, Matt?
We are, yeah. They're here in bloody May.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Are we?
Can
Are
you
we?
get us tickets?
Yeah,
Well,
can
I
we
think-
get tickets to that?
I think you pack more of a punch here at Hodaki than me. I think you can get us tickets.
Sounds good.
Okay, well,
Let's do
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
And we'll try and get some of the listeners as well then, maybe.
Yeah. Make a party of
Oh,
it.
no, bugger that.
Bhuja with Lee and Jace on Radio Hodaki.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. I'm just looking at the log here, Lee Hart,
Yep.
and got some amazing stuff that you're about to.
Oh,
you got an
that
amazing
one there.
story? Yeah.
It is an amazing story. It's just the timing of it's not quite right. I think we've got the news coming up very shortly, and old Ted Teasdale, remember him telling? Remember what he said on day 4?
Oh,
on
yeah.
radio school. He said,
4-6.
"Whatever you do, don't don't outshine the news with a good yarn before the news. Because we've got news coming up, I believe, at 6.
Yes, we do, yeah.
So last thing you want to do now is do a really good yarn that unsettles people and they go, wow, that was amazing. Then they listen to the news. So it's a bit of a radio one-on-one thing.
Well, it was always Ted that sort of pointed it out. He said, at the end of the day, guys, when you're doing live radio, you got to remember you're always second fiddle to the news.
Yeah.
Almost third. What was I saying? Third fiddle to the weather.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Those two things are the most important things of any live radio show.
No matter how far you go in radio, Matt, you'd be wise to learn this. No matter how big you are, no matter what you're getting paid, you're still nothing compared to the news.
It kind of feels like you've been applying that rule sort of since the news at 5 o'clock, but is this before the news at 6?
Well, I only thought of the story since then anyway.
Yeah. And it was funny, because when I started off, when I went to radio school, what did I want to do when I was at radio, Lee Hart? Can you remember?
News.
Yeah, I wanted to do news. You know what they said to me?
I thought you wanted to sleep with the tutor.
No, they said to me, Matt, you're not good enough to do the news, Jace. And to this day, that still hurts. It still hurts to this day that I wasn't good enough to read the news.
And now you're second fiddle to it.
Now I'm second fiddle to it.
So if this had been...
So I'm almost tempted for you to do your bloody good story now just to piss the news off.
No.
So that's going to be after 6, is it?
Yeah, maybe.
I've actually got the news computer here. We could take the legs out from under the news and just read it now.
Mate, you're skating on thin ice if you want to do that.
You want to end your radio career? You mess around with the news, mate.
All right.
Daily Bhuja with KFC's Smoky Barbecue Bacon Bhuja. Burger.
The Matt and Jenny Show.
And I want you to say the first thing that comes into your mind when I say these words. Matt Heath.
Cheating on my missus.
What? Have I been with your missus?
If you saw his face, Philip, his jaw just dropped.
Well, you're from Dunedin.
I am.
There's a high chance he did.
Matt and Jeremy. The Hodaki Breakfast. Weekdays from 6.
This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
Oh, this is great. So didn't you have a good story now, Lee Hart?
It's sort of been covered in the news now, to be honest.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. Very nice to have your company this afternoon. Are you all good, mate? You're doing
good,
a
thanks,
few
mate. Just
facial exercises or something. Something about tight your face.
No, just went to the dentist today. Bit of a slice of life, really, I suppose.
Oh, okay. Lee Hart slice of life.
Yeah,
nice.
You just went to the dentist earlier.
Yeah.
Bit of a procedure.
Jeez, that's pretty full on, mate.
The old wisdom teeth.
Oh, right. What? Getting them pulled out, were you?
No, put back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought I'd put them back in, but that's not what I wanted to talk about.
Okay. No, that's fair enough.
Other stuff. How often do you go to the dentist?
Oh, twice a year.
Really? That's not bad.
Well, once usually, if I'm honest, or twice at the most. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm sort of probably once a year. I normally cancel every other one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it ends up probably once every 1.5 years. How about you, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty overdue. Usually I go once a year, but I don't think I've been for a couple.
Yeah, you see, been so busy being a top radio DJ and that.
Yeah.
Whatever session I've got
Well,
always seems to clash.
Yeah, particularly when you got to come in and do live radio. You don't want to really sort of be bleeding out of the mouth while you're doing live radio. It's
That's
not
right.
an attractive... I mean, I guess the listeners can't see it, but it's bloody painful.
You'd sound terrible too.
Yeah, you would. Gargling on your own blood.
That's right. So
that's pretty full on, mate. I've never heard of anyone getting their wisdom teeth put back in. That's a new procedure.
well, I think they were mine.
Right, okay.
But it's a little procedure they do nowadays. But like anything,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah, it's cosmetic as well as it was just a good thing to do. But I was going to say you'd probably get your type of guy. I'm surprised you go to the dentist so often because it's not like your car gets serviced that often or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I only service my car when I have to service my car. And a lot of the time I don't have a car because my cars break down, you know what I mean? Which probably is because I don't get them serviced. My mechanic keeps telling me, get your car serviced, Jason, then they won't break down all the time because that's what a service is all about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it's weird that you'd go twice a year for the dentist, but you wouldn't bother that with your car. So you obviously think more about your body than your vehicle, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, you know me, mate. I don't really give a crap about cars as long as they get me from A to B. Sometimes they don't
Which
even
they
do that.
don't,
That's all I sort of care about.
Yeah. Are you still in the market for a car from a sponsor?
No, look, I'm always in the market for a car, mate, if anyone's got one for me.
Okay, if any car companies out there want to supply Jace with a car, remember text 3483, make the first introduction, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, and I'll get it regularly serviced. That's a promise. Nice.
Bhuja with Lee and Jace on Radio Hodaki.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. Now, I'm just looking at the text machine here, Lee Hart. Someone asking about our podcasts, when they come out, that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, well, that's interesting, actually, Mac, because you're on that, eh? Did you talk to Steve about that?
Yes, Steve said that Terry's all over it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, Terry doing that now, is he?
Well, I think maybe just this week.
Okay, how about Andy? Is he not working on that anymore, is he?
No, David took over from Andy, I think, in terms of the head of that department now. So
It wouldn't
Andy's
take
on holiday.
Dave and Steve both to do that, would it?
Well, no, Steve isn't doing it, just David's doing it. But I think Steve and Terry answer to David.
Okay. Yeah, well, that would make sense. Wouldn't make sense. Why can't they just get John doing it? Because, he seems to be there anyway.
Yeah, well, he spends all his time on the Game Boy that we've got in there now. But no, I think John, he works under Philip now.
Yeah, I just think if they're doing their best-ofs, the podcast, why don't you get Philip to do it? John can do the backups and just set Steve to just do what he does, whatever that is. You know?
Andy's useless anyway. You don't really want him involved.
No.
Oh, just amazing. Anyway, so I suppose the short answer is, so what, Steve's onto it?
Yeah, I think Steve's in charge of it now, yeah.
Great, hope that helps you. The listener there, the podcast should be coming out, and we'll chat to Steve.
Jason Hoyt, Lee Hart. It's Bhuja on Radio Hodaki.
Welcome back to Daily Bhuja this Thursday afternoon. And I tell you what, Lee Hart, the texts keep coming in by the bucket load, my friend.
Yeah, just a bit of a correction to our chat we had just had a moment ago about who was sorting out the podcasts.
Yeah.
I think we said that Steve was sorting out. Turns out it's not. Turns out it's actually Phil Price. He's sorting that out.
Well, as we said, I think Phil's overseeing the whole thing. Steve actually does the specific podcast that we do, but John's overlooking all the podcasts.
It's under his wing.
Well, no, because John overlooks all the podcasts, because it's not just our podcast, you see. But I believe that Philip is in charge with Steve. Philip Leggett is in charge with Steve for our podcast specifically.
Okay.
But that's
got nothing to do with the best ofs on the Sunday. That's still run by Steve Price, isn't it?
No, that's done by Andy now. And he once again he works with Philip.
You mean Aaron?
Oh, Aaron. Sorry,
yeah.
Andy's left, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So Aaron does the best ofs. Also, Jake does the little things that we do between the ads.
Oh, with Mark Rhodes?
No, not with Mark Rhodes, but what do you call those things, Matt?
Stings.
Oh, the social stings.
Yeah, that was Bhuja.
Well, he's doing a good job. I think he should stay on that.
Who, Jake is?
Yeah. I think leave it as it is. That's fine. That's
I actually suggested to Philip that maybe Jake take over the best ofs or the podcast, but he said no. Steve's still doing that under my sort of guidance.
Yeah, I'd leave Mark Rhodes out of that, to be honest. Thomas Leggett, keep doing what he's doing, and Phil, whatever. But anyway, I hope that clarifies a little bit. Certainly for us, anyway.
Yeah, it's good to know these things. It's good to know.
Keep the text coming 3483, and if there's anything we can help you, I know a lot of this sounds probably in-house to a lot of you listeners, but really needs to get sorted.
Well, the people really like the podcasts, Lee Hart, so we got to make sure that we get them.
Right.
We stuff the podcasts up, then Steve and Philip and Andy and Trevor and John lose their jobs, and we probably lose our jobs as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Daily Bhuja with KFC. Indulge yourself with the new smoky barbecue bacon burger. When you get to work tomorrow, Radio Hodaki has no ads till smoko. That's less of this.
You wish you were somewhere else. You sit next to this guy and you daydream of punching small animals.
Yeah. And more of this.
Come on, baby, let's have another swing. La, 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 la. I got a love that keeps me waiting.
No ads till smoko. Tomorrow from 9 a.m. on Radio Hodaki.
Welcome back to Bhuja. Welcome back to the radio if you're listening, and it's great to have you with us. Now, let's have a bit of sports chat, bit of controversial sports chat at the moment, of course, what everyone's talking about. Should the All Black selectors be able to select from overseas?
Oh,
Jason,
that old doozy again. That old doozy. Look, I think everyone should be available to play. If they can play for the All Blacks, yes, they should, Lee Hart. I mean, I really don't care, but it's interesting that it's come up again. Yeah,
I just think, for me personally, it would be a bit of I would find it quite annoying, in the sense that in my heyday I went overseas on a big OE.
Yeah.
And had I known, I chose my timings on that. If I'd known that I could have still been selected for rugby, I would have gone earlier.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, there is that.
So it affects your timeline on your big OE. But also, I think the All Blacks are stronger as a unit when most of the players are selected from local.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I mean, imagine every good back, and that could actually go overseas and still potentially be chosen for the All Blacks. They're all going to chase the money. And the old...
And when the reality, if you look at the reality of it, Lee Hart, is that most of the guys that go overseas are sort of retiring, and they go overseas to get the big coin, and most of them have quit the All Blacks anyway. Your Carters,
but a lot of them would go early, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, that's true. That's
A lot
true.
of them,
Actually,
I mean, imagine being a first five.
and that's the reason why they don't allow that to happen, because
Exactly.
they know there would be a mass exodus of players going overseas, getting all these massive contracts, knowing that they can come back and play for the All Blacks whenever they bloody want to.
What if they just let certain players come back?
Now, this is the problem,
Well,
you
the
see.
sabbatical.
They did it for Carter.
I think the sabbatical's okay.
Because you were asking for a radio sabbatical, weren't you? I heard you having a very heated bloody conversation with Mike Lane before about having a radio sabbatical.
Well, back in the day, of course, with rugby, one of my good mates is a player's agent. Okay, your brother knows him.
Yep.
And I had extensive meetings with them, and I actually got myself a contract to rugby club in France.
Yeah.
With a lot of clauses in
Too
it.
long, wasn't it?
Yep, it was a huge contract.
Yeah.
Huge contract with a lot of injury sort of stuff in there. As soon as I got over there, injured myself in training, pocket 250 grand.
Nice.
Straight back here again. But, that's what happens.
Yeah, well, it is, mate, and I think it's that old doozy again, and it's a can of worms. In hindsight, I'm going to retract what I said at the beginning and say, no, you shouldn't be able to pick anyone from wherever they are in the world. Bugger that, because we will have a huge exodus. Let's keep this... And we don't want to be strengthening all the bloody English and Scottish and Irish bloody leagues. We want to have the bloody strong leagues back home.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the Crusaders, for example, they're tight because they're good because they're a unit.
Exactly, mate.
Might have lost to the Hurricanes the other night, but that's just a blip. Okay, they'll be back.
Absolutely, they will. Absolutely,
As we know they will.
That was great sports chat.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. We're going to do sports chat tomorrow
If
for
you
the
could go
Friday show.
overseas, though, if you could go overseas on a contract, where would you go?
Ireland. Oh, no, I'd go to France.
Would you?
Yeah.
Matt?
Is this for rugby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go Ireland. I'd go wherever the money is, to be honest. I'm that fickle.
Yourself?
I'd stay here.
Right, okay.
Loyalty to New Zealand, yeah.
Oh, good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Lee Hart, Jason Hoyt, and the Bhuja Hawk. Till 7 tonight on Radio Hodaki.
Oh my God, is it that time already? Jeez, it's flown by, this show. I love it because
Certainly has,
you know,
mate.
that sort of shows you that you've been having a great time when the time just goes boom in the blink of an eye, mate.
That's right. It's like a good massage. You close your eyes, it's all over.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, mate, it's been a hell of a show too. We've covered off a lot of stuff. You've been a very busy man, of course, going to the funeral, going to the dentist all on the same day. It's been full noise.
Yeah, one of those days. But you just do what you have to do. But I'm sure there's people out there that have had a lot more hectic day than I have.
I'm sure you're right there, mate. I'm sure you're right. Now, make sure you tune into the Friday show. Of course, it's the big Friday show. We've got money to give away. We've got guests coming in. It's going to be...
chuck some names at us with the guests there, Matt. We got any...
We've got Chopper Reed coming in.
Oh,
Chopper
yeah,
Reed.
Chopper.
Yeah, good stuff.
And it's, of course, the St. Paddy's special, so we've got someone coming in from Guinness.
Oh,
fantastic.
That's just brilliant. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to have that scenario again where we have all of our guests on one show.
Probably,
Instead
yeah.
instead of spreading them out through the week. Hey, but anyway, it's been great having your company this Thursday afternoon, New Zealand. You take care out there. From Lee, myself, and Loba de Noche, Bhuja to you.
Buenas noches, Kiwis.
And love.